Louis C.K. offended a bunch of whiny millennial imbeciles by attacking non-binary people. He punched down! Oh wait, he didn't attack anyone, he merely told the truth and was funny.
I'm a little disappointed in the younger generation, honestly, because I'm 51 years old, and when I was like 18 to my 20s, I mean, we were idiots. We were getting high, doing fucking mushrooms and shit. And then older people were like, you gotta get your shit together. And we were like, yeah, fuck you. And I was kind of excited to be in my 50s and see people in their 20s and be like, they're crazy. These kids are nuts, but they're not. They're fucking, they're just boring. Fucking telling them, you shouldn't say that. What are you, an old lady? What the fuck are you doing? It's not appropriate. Fuck you, you're a child. Why are you finger fucking each other and doing jello shots? Like, why aren't you... You should address me. They're like royalty. They tell you what to call them.
Fuck 'em.
You should address me as they, them. Because I identify as gender neutral. Oh, okay. You should address me as there. Because I identify as a location. And the location is your mother's cunt.
And if that offends you, then it's because he's talking about you. Oh, the sweet fucking irony. It's only offensive to pedantic, joyless idiots who are so goddamn precious they can't handle a finger being pointed at their own relentless stupidity.
You know what's the worst, most boring kind of comedy? The kind where older white men are angry that older white men can't do or say whatever the fuck they want anymore.
And yet he did say whatever the fuck he wanted, and everyone laughed. A situation that's probably alien to you, because you're not funny. You had 3 major comedy ventures besides being Conan O'Brien's bitch, and all were cancelled after 1 or 2 seasons due to poor ratings. But you're gonna lecture us about boring comedy? Actually, I take it back, you're obviously an expert in the field. I'll tell you what's boring, when the purpose of a joke is not to be funny, but to impart some form of intersectional indoctrination. Like your cringeworthy, white, guilt-ridden tweet. That's boring.
I mean, he's like a right-wing comic now. He's Milo.
Yeah, he's so right-wing, he literally told everyone to vote for Hillary Clinton because Americans need a mom to feed us, teach us, and protect us.
I'm gonna vote for Hillary because I think she's great. It's not like a lesser of two evils. I think she's great.
So right-wing. He also wrote a letter in 2016 saying Trump is Hitler. So right-wing. He also said Sarah Palin was a fucking retard-making cunt. So right-wing. And isn't it funny that so long as Louis C.K. was adopting left-wing political positions, he could routinely drop the N-word on stage.
Nigger.
And leftists didn't give a shit. So they only got offended by words, once those words were being used to tear down the sacred church of intersectionality. Isn't that interesting? It's almost like they're just pretending to get offended on behalf of other people, that they have no real principles and only really care about obtaining cultural power. Louis C.K. has sounded the same for the past 20 years. But as soon as he takes one dig at political correctness, only then does he have to be publicly shamed into silence. Interesting. Disgraced comic Louis C.K. mocks school massacre survivors. Again, listen to the actual joke, read the headline, then read the comments. The clear majority of people either found it funny or don't care. And no amount of alarmist headlines or righteously indignant tweets is ever going to change that reality.
I listened to the Louis C.K. clip and I'm proud of being part of a generation that pisses off old white dudes and tries to make difference.
Nah. You're part of a generation that has ruined comedy with your whiny, pedantic, virtue-signalling shite. A generation that will thankfully become irrelevant when Gen Z, which loves edgy offensive humour, kicks your blubbering ass to the curb.
Louis C.K.'s new set apparently has a section attacking non-binary people. He thinks it's wrong to use they as a singular pronoun. I, on the other hand, think it's wrong to sexually assault people.
You think sexually assaulting people is wrong? Wow, such an edgy opinion to broadcast. Stunning and brave. Here's 20,000 likes. So Louis C.K. does a bit about millennials being hypersensitive and easily offended. And millennials react by being hypersensitive and easily offended, thereby proving His exact fucking point. Like, is there a level of self-awareness below zero that it's possible for you lot to reach at this point? Notice how the audience at the Louis C.K. gig is laughing, while on Twitter, all you permanently offended idiots are just shrieking into your own echo chamber. Notice how the vast majority of comments on the YouTube clip found the bit hilarious and didn't care if it was offensive. Notice how, just to make it seem more dark and ominous, Twitter put a trigger warning in front of their own story about people being triggered by it. Notice how this is all just another shouty witch hunt being artificially amplified by social media's relentless clamour for contrived outrage. When you ring-fence virtually anything that might offend someone, somewhere, you strangle satire. And then what are we left with? Amy Schumer talking about her vagina again and again and again.
Vagina. 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 Vagina's vagina. 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 Vagina.
Just do women's comedy stuff, you know, talk about how fat you are and how you want to have sex with guys and then say, my vagina a lot.
British comedy used to be the envy of the world. It was daring, it was edgy, it was the new rock and roll. Now look at the state of it.
A 28-year-old man expects praise for not being a misogynist.
Monty Python and The Office wouldn't even get commissioned now. So congrats, lefties and millennials. You ruined comedy. You're the new Puritans, you're the new moral inquisitors, you're the new censors. And that's why you're no longer the counterculture. Perfect end to Bizarro World 2018. Liberals outraged about offensive jokes and conservatives defending the right to tell them. Please click the big red button to subscribe. It really helps me when you do that. And click the bell to allow notifications so you never miss a new video.